But today I want to share with you something that has taken me a long time to come to. And that is that C work, C grade work, is actually better than A work. And I don't know whether you can relate or not, but in my childhood home, there was a big emphasis on getting straight A's. Now, don't get me wrong here. I was never made to feel like getting A's meant I would be more loved, but it was important. And it's probably more accurate to say that living up to my potential was always stressed. The natural desire that I had to please my parents and teachers meant that I put a lot of pressure on myself to get excellent grades. That continued into college, although being away from home meant that I didn't have the same emphasis on living up to my potential as I did in high school, and I chose to have some fun, if you know what I mean. As you might expect, that desire to be the best or at least close to it continued into my corporate career. I spent 25 plus years climbing the corporate ladder, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to keep on climbing. That meant long hours, whether they were expected, required, or not, and less time than I wanted to spend with my family. Now, I've always wanted to be my own boss, but I just didn't take the time to create that environment because I was always trying to make things perfect and get those straight A's, even in corporate world. But I got some really great advice from a not so great boss one point. He was meeting with me about whether or not I would or should relocate for my job. And that led to a really interesting revelation. He said to me, "You've got the bar set way up here for yourself, but my bar is somewhere down here. And your internal customers in the company probably have an even lower bar set for you. So instead of beating yourself up for what you're not doing, take the time to celebrate all the great stuff that you are doing." Well, I would probably tell you that this particular boss taught me more about who I don't want to be than who I want to be. These words are the wisdom that have stayed with me over the years. In other words, there's always a golden nugget if you look for it. By lowering that bar to even average C work, you release unnecessary stress you've created for yourself, and you create more room for the things that fill your cup, whether that's more time to spend with your family, work on a hobby, build your own business, or just be and sit in stillness. There's so much more room for joy and peace and purpose if you can be okay with just average. Does this hit home for you? If so, try letting go of that A work on just one thing this week and see what happens. See if you feel more expansive, happier, and full of joy or even purpose. And be on the lookout for some exciting news I'll be sharing over the next couple of weeks to help you release that need for A work. So let me know if you take up this challenge, what you let go of, and how it worked for you. And I'll talk to you again soon.